and thanks for tuning in to our very first DID vlog. For the university system, we go by Kaylin in our everyday life. We were professionally diagnosed with DID about 4 years ago, and we just decided to create this channel to highlight what we've learned in hopes it'll help others, whether it be purely from an educational standpoint, for loved ones of systems, or even to help systems hopefully understand themselves a little better and have someone to relate to. We also have lots to discover about ourselves, and hopefully this will help us get there. Alright, so about the system. We go by the collective system name Universi. That is a spin on a Latin phrase which basically means all together. When we first got diagnosed and we chose that name, we were not all together at first. And we had hopes that the name would be its own self-fulfilling prophecy, that we would learn to be together as a team. And over time that has started to happen, you know. We also have a collective first name. It is Kaylin, and that was chosen as something that is more passing and everyday than Universi. But it is a gender-neutral name, and it satisfied a lot of our alters that maybe had some different feelings about gender, or even just mixed feelings about the body's birth name. We use jellyfish a lot, opalescent jellyfish, stuff like that, in screen names, and that was inspired also because of how they can regenerate themselves. Something awful can happen to a jellyfish, something that even breaks them into pieces. But those pieces, they can regenerate, and they can even form two jellyfish. Which, when we first heard that, I mean, that really felt like a kind of neat metaphor for systems. We are 21 years old. We are, I guess collectively, you could say we identify as gender fluid. We use they, them pronouns. We work retail. We live in the United States. If we ever do anything that hurts anybody, or we ever say anything that you feel is misinformation, or you just have any qualm with us, we are open to criticism. Feel free to let us know, and we will do our best to handle that situation appropriately, because we do really try to be an accountable person. We definitely are all for system accountability, so we will never be the kind of person who says, oh, I didn't do that, my alter did that, you know, because as a collective, we need to take responsibility for the whole system. We didn't used to necessarily be like that, but I feel like that is so important, not even just for recovery for yourself as a system, but it is also very important for other people. You can't just hurt somebody and say, oh, that was my alter. So I really think it's important that people do that, and we definitely are not about systems who use their DID as an excuse to hurt others, and I think that's a really important thing to know about us. So we also have some comorbid other psychiatric diagnoses, and we'll probably get more into those in future videos, but DID can definitely coexist with other disorders. We're a former service dog handler. We used to have a service dog named Charlie, a psychiatric service dog, along with other tasks that he did. We're probably going to make some videos about him and just about service dogs and DID in general. And we are a musician. We play 7 instruments between all of us. Not all of us play all the same instruments, which I think is kind of interesting. But a lot of us do also like to write songs, and we may make a channel for our music, so, you know, stay tuned. It's funny, right? So we are polyfragmented. We have 250 alters plus at last count. We're still discovering more. We have not finished finding all of our alters. Our inner world varies greatly in terms of how intense, how vivid it can be. Some of us have lived almost our entire lives internally, and others mostly externally, and they never really saw much of that inner world, but some of us have entire backstories and entire roles and systems that purely exist in the inner world. A lot of people ask with 250 alters, how do you stay organized? And good question, because sometimes we don't, honestly. We're really working on that though. We have a bullet journal, it's actually back here, and we're probably going to make a video on how that works for us too. We also use various apps just to keep tabs on each other, communicate. There's this one that a system made a video about, it's called SelfTalking, and we'll link to that video, and I think that was a really helpful app for us to find. There's another option. We also use a Discord chat for ourselves that has Pluralkit installed. I'll link to Pluralkit as well. And we just kind of, you know, we try to communicate with each other is the biggest thing. We just regular journal too, not bullet journal necessarily. And I think that communicating as a system is the best advice we have for organization. We'll probably make more videos on that too. It's a pretty big thing. We are a traumagenic system, and we're really still deciding how much of that we want to share. We ask that you respect our space on that while we decide and while we process how much we want to post on YouTube. So that's definitely going to be something that we're not sure how far we're going to go yet. So I mean, anyone can watch these videos though, singlets or systems alike. Especially non-systems who are seeking to learn, you are definitely welcome. I mean, don't speak over the other systems, but you are welcome to listen and understand. Alright, so now that I've talked about our system and the number of alters we have, how some of that kind of works inside, and what our system is like as a collective, I do want to talk about some of our alters. I'm not going in depth about anybody specific for that yet, but let me just tell you a little bit about us. Alright, so we are definitely going to make some Meet the Alters videos, but due to the sheer number of people, as well as a lot of us really still want a lot of privacy about what we hold and who we are. I am Marleigh, and I'm definitely going to make a Meet the Alters video. That just sounds really fun for me. A lot of us actually take on fictional identities, and that we'll make a video on fictional identities and fictives and introject and all that. But a lot of us, for that, what that means is that we have fragments that already exist before they take on a fictional ID, and sometimes consciously, sometimes not entirely consciously, they take on the identity of a fictional character that they really connect with. A lot of times that can be a metaphor, or it can just be, you know, something that they want to be. And that really has helped a lot of our fragments redevelop into full people, and there's definitely going to be a video we make about that. We have age ranges from infant to senior to everyone in between, even non-humans who are much older than a senior adult. Most of us, though, are in our 20s or younger, because a lot of our older people, they don't front very much, and that's just because a lot of them take on sort of caretaker roles internally. Our orientations and our LGBT identities, those are really all over the place. We are collectively, you know, LGBT for the most part. Some of us are straight, but most of us actually range from lesbian to bisexual to gay men, and, you know, a lot of those men also identify as transgender because they're in a body that was assigned female at birth. And that can be pretty complicated for them because we have DID. It's not like we're transgender men necessarily, but, you know, that we'll make a video on as well. As for our personalities, most of us are not extremely overt, especially if they've developed a better sense of who they are externally and understand the outside world as it currently is. Although a lot of times we do have close friends and our partner who can tell the differences even between the people that blend a little more with each other. It is a safety thing though, because a lot of us, you know, we don't want to share with the whole world that we have alters, of course. And so we actually have some alters who, I guess you could call them gatekeepers. You know, they keep out alters in certain situations who may not be appropriate for that situation because they would out us as a system, or it would just in general be unsafe for us. Although, in our private life, we do have a wide range of personalities. You know, we got everyone ranging from open book people who love talking about, you know, who they are. They have no reservations about being themselves. But we also have a lot of us who are more reserved. You know, they keep to themselves. They prefer to do their work internally. So if you'd like to follow us, we are still deciding on when videos are going to happen. Not only as a person with a full-time job, but as a system, it may not always be the same day every week. It may not always be a certain number of times every week. So we're really just going to play that one by ear, and we are going to try, maybe when we get a more secure job that has a regular schedule, we're going to try really hard to have a set day of the week, but we're not sure how that's going to work out yet. In the meantime, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Opalescent Jellyfish for updates. We also have an intros account, which, again, just like our Meet the Alters videos, it's not going to have everybody, but we do have a Opalescent intros account as well. So feel free to like or subscribe. I'd also love if you guys would comment questions or video ideas that you'd like to see. Alright, well, thanks so much. You guys all have an awesome day, and stay together.